everyone, Alex Ionescu here. Welcome to Investor's Guide to the Galaxy, limms robotic system, where the payload becomes the body. Although before we start, if you find this video helpful, it would mean a lot to me if you crash the like button and subscribe to my channel. It's totally free and takes just a split second. If you want to show more appreciation, consider subscribing to my Patreon. Now let's dive right into it. Today I want to show you some amazing stuff from Romela at UCLA, the Robotics and Mechanisms Laboratory. They came up with this robotic system called limms. Stands for Latching Intelligent Modular Mobility System, where your average box from Amazon delivery becomes the body of the robot. Genius idea if you ask me. Let's take a look at the video.
Good morning. My name is Dennis Hong. I'm the director of romela, the Robotics and Mechanisms Laboratory at UCLA. And today I would like to give a talk on our paper, Feasibility Study of Limms, a multi-agent modular robotic delivery system with various locomotion and manipulation modes. At our lab Romela, we come up with many ingenious robot mobility mechanisms. Recently, we've been focusing more on legged locomotion, a new type of configuration for a bipedal robot, quadruped robots, hexapod robots, and many different type of locomotion systems. One of the more recent robot we developed is called Alfred, autonomous leg personal helper robot with enhanced dynamics. It's a axisymmetric robot, so there's no forward and backwards and left and right, but it walks very fast and very stable. It can also hop very well. Notice that when it lands, the impact is converted to electricity, so it can charge its battery for efficiency. For hard, smooth surfaces, it utilizes the caster wheels on its belly for efficiency as well. It uses force impedance control, so it can do these knocking. And it uses a custom developed proprietary actuators called the bear actuators.
Oh my God!
And if you want to, we can even break boards. But the real reason we developed this robot is for package delivery. So this is a multimodal locomotion robot. There's many different modes it can operate to walk and manipulate objects. And we believe this is the only quadruped robot that can pick up a box from the ground and deliver in a higher position. So we want to use this robot for last mile delivery. Let's look at a more realistic scenario. So there's a truck, and the truck is filled with boxes, stacked boxes. The robot needs to pick a box from the stack and deliver it to the final destination, which is going to be in front of the door, at the porch. So how do we do this? Now, this is actually much more difficult than one might think. This last mile delivery problem, there's really two distinct tasks the robot needs to do. First of all, it needs to shuffle and pick the right box and unload package from the vehicle, which has to do with manipulation. And it needs to move that package, the box, to the desired location, which has to do with transportation. And Alfred robot I just talked about is designed to do this. However, there's a much bigger problem. Now let's look at some other efforts from different laboratories. Now for the current solutions that other people are using, they use humanoid robots or quadruped robots or some kind of hybrid system. Including Alfred, there's a bigger problem to this approach. Now first of all, the truck needs to carry the heavy and bulky robots. The truck needs to carry the humanoid robot where the boxes are stored. And this is not good because these are very heavy and bulky. I cannot imagine having more than one robot in the trunk, which means that one robot means one package delivery at a time, which makes it highly inefficient. So how do we solve this problem? So in our lab, we literally think outside the box, think out of the box. So once we asked ourselves this question, what if the payload itself is the body of the robot? What if the box that it needs to deliver is the body of the robot? And thus, we came up with an ingenious system called limms. Limms stands for Latching Intelligent Modular Mobility System. And this is a rendering of our first version of limb. So this is a 6-trigger Freedom serial chain. It's actually a mobile robot. It weighs about 4 kilograms. When it's folded, it's a very compact size, 43 centimeters long and 20 centimeters width. And when it's unfolded, it's about 0.75 meters long. You can see the wheels attached on the bottom. It's not shown here, but there's also a very interesting latching mechanism, which I will be talking in a minute. So how does the system work? Now, as I mentioned, this limb unit is very compact. So I can imagine storing these limb units in the on the ceiling inside the truck. Let's say we have 16 limb units hanging inside the truck. Now, these limbs unit have these latching mechanisms that can latch onto the box, to the ceiling, to the wall, and the floor of the truck. I'm going to talk about more in detail how this works, but at this point, let's assume that it can do that. So multiple limbs units, they grab onto the wall and to the box, and working together, they unload the box. And in the reverse order, you can also think about these can stack boxes as well. Once the box is loose, then more limb units attach to the box, and these limb units becomes legs of the robot. So literally we can make a quadruped robot. And of course, if the box is heavier, we have more limbs attached to it, so we can make a hexapod robot, for example. Now, if you remember, these limb units also have wheels, so they can roll, but when it encounters an obstacle or stairs, it can walk up the stairs just like a quadruped robot. When it reaches its destination, these limb units detach from the box and just leaves the box at its destination. At this point, you might be questioning, then how do you make the limb robot return to the truck? Good question. These limb units, they have wheels, they stand upright, and just like a Segway, they return back to the truck. Isn't this ingenious? Isn't this great? This is the limb system. Now, by now, you might be curious about this so-called latching mechanism. How does it work? So this is a quick an animation explaining how it works. So we have these rotating blades with a cutout. So as they rotate, it's a self-aligning mechanism, and they mate to the other side. If it rotates in the other direction, they detach. So you can imagine having these inserts mounted on the box, or it could be just simple cutouts in the box. The truck ceiling, floor, and the wall can have all these cutouts as well, which means that it can attach to anywhere inside the truck and also onto the package. Now, this video shows our first physical prototype. This one has 3 blades, but again, it's self-aligning. As you turn it, it rigidly attaches to the cardboard. The second video adds another pin. So once it mates to the other side onto the cardboard, this pins engage. It becomes a very rigid connection to the box, and we're very happy with its performance. Now, you probably cannot see it very well, but there's a clear plexiglass in front of the camera. It's transparent, you cannot see it, but you can see the cutouts in this picture. Now, pay attention to the inner blade profile over there. The blue cross shows the center of the end effector, the latching mechanism, and the green cross shows the center of the opening. So as this rotates, notice that starts with a very big offset, an error. But as I mentioned, this is a self-aligning mechanism. So as it turns, it reaches to its final position and mates perfectly. We are very happy with its robustness and repeatability. It's a great mechanism. So this is the latest one. We decided to use a 2-blade mechanism, and instead of the pin, this time we have this counter-rotating locking mechanism you can see over there, and this helps to adapt to the deformation of the cardboard, and it helps with the locking and alignment. We also optimize the geometry of the blade to reduce the stress and to increase the stiffness of the connection.
This system is so cool, and by the looks of it, can be very cheap to make and is very practical. Hope this will become a product someday. We could get our Amazon delivery from these tiny robotic legs. How cool would that be? I'd like to know your opinion on all of this. Please leave a comment below. If you like this video, please smash the like button so that other people like you see this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you that watch my videos. See you next time.